Guys, what is up? How's it going? This is Kazi from cleverprogrammer.com, and today we're going to talk about how to get a job as a ReactJS developer in 2021. I have some really phenomenal resources I want to take you guys through, and especially from a perspective of a recruiter, and I'm now going through a process of hiring tons of developers, and I want to share a lot of key insights with you guys. Today, I'm on a call with the Profit with JavaScript squad. So guys, do me a favor and unmute yourselves. Where's Zoom?
Yo guys.
Guys, and just say hi. What's up, guys? Let's go!
What's up, man?
What's up? Yo, we got the whole squad in the house. Awesome. So welcome YouTube family, welcome Zoom family and the PWJ family. And with that said, let's jump straight into it. So PWJ gang, can you guys see my screen right now where it says learn ReactJS with me?
Yeah,
we're seeing it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
through the camera.
So the resources I want to share today. Oh, through the camera? I thought I shared the screen. Oh, okay, cool.
Camera, yeah. We don't see.
There we go. There we go. So I want to share some really good resources today. So one, I want to talk about how to get a job as a ReactJS developer and what your proposals and stuff should look like right here on Upwork. I want to show you guys what type of projects should you have on your portfolio that catch the attention of developers and land you jobs. I want to talk about some great resources to make your designing skills next level, like these ones. Some resources to be able to launch your projects online really fast, and from a perspective of a recruiter of what you can be better prepared for when it comes to going and getting these job interviews. Does that sound good with you guys?
Super.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful. Awesome. So let's get started with the first thing. All right. So one thing I want to say is, as I'm now being a recruiter and going through tons and tons of job applications, and by the way, you guys are welcome to apply to the job application if you guys want as well. The link is cleverprogrammer. Actually, what is it? Cleverprogrammer, I think, .workable.com. .workable.com. So if any of you guys want to apply, feel free to apply. It's open to everybody who's watching it on YouTube as well. So there you go. But so as I'm going through it, I'm realizing a lot of like, what types of stuff am I ignoring? What type of stuff am I not really looking at? And what type of people am I declining versus the people who I am? Okay, cool. What type of people I'm giving a chance to? So whoever's on this call, by the way, guys, just mute yourselves if you have some sounds going on in the background. So Anton was somebody who stood out when he actually applied to my job posting. There were a bunch of people that did not stand out, and I rejected them. And one of the things I want to share why he stood out was of his project. Everybody's going to talk a big game. They're all going to say, I have a lot of experience with React, Redux, and they're going to say these hot keywords, right? Because these are like the hot technologies right now. Have you guys heard of Redux and things like that with React? Yeah. So this is one of those things that a lot of people will talk about, but I want to see what your projects look like. So here, when I went to take a look at his project, this is a solid project on a portfolio. It's very clean, it's fast, and it's simple. Would you guys agree that this looks pretty good?
Yeah.
Right? So this made him stand out for me. Another types of projects like I saw that really stood out and blew me away. I was like, wow, this is a person I want to interview and get on a call with. Were the type of people where they had they would have you can log in. So like the design here is, what do you guys think? This design is pretty cool, right?
Pretty clean.
And what's cool is that there's a demo login. So most times I go into these apps, and if you want to have an app, guys, please don't have recruiters log in with the right credentials. So many times your apps will not get used simply because you have authentication that the recruiter who's trying to check your projects doesn't have access to. Okay, so it makes a ton of sense to have a demo login. Over here on the left hand,
Maybe also
go ahead.
It may be also causes like privacy issues to recruiters when they just go on this website like, is he trying to steal my data or something like
That's
that?
right. That's right. I think that as well. I'm like, I don't know this person. I don't think I'm going to put in my password. Right. So on the left-hand side, you can see this. They have a pretty slick UI UX experience here. And already visually, I can tell that this developer really knows how components are working. So because I can see here on this left-hand side, I can see all of this stuff here where the leagues are. And then this is being rendered on the fly without me having to refresh when I click this. So pretty slick UI. When I go and I try to create something, enter the name of your league. Let's profit with JavaScript gang. Let's put hopefully it doesn't break. And guys, please don't spam their thing because they're not expecting any traffic, right? So like if you're watching this, don't spam it, please. All right. So we created a league and I think it's going to get populated over here on the left-hand side. It takes a little bit of time to populate, but it does end up doing it ultimately. That's what I've realized. So that was one thing that I was like, that's a little bit slow.
What is the backend, Kazi? Is it NoSQL or SQL?
His backend, I don't know. This person's backend, I don't know. I would have to, once I'm in an interview, I'll ask him. But this person did get a chance to get an interview from us. So when I'm speaking with him, he'll probably go into detail behind his code and how he went through it. By the way, do any of you guys want to, right now you guys are on this call. Do you guys want me to go through your portfolio or your projects? Do any of you guys want me to do that?
Yes, of course.
Yes, no?
My project is not basically a React project, but it's basic HTML, CSS.
Okay.
But you can go through it.
Kazi,
Yeah.
I'm still building my project, but I just completed this. If you want to check it out.
Did you drop it as a link?
Yeah, in the chat box.
Okay, so let's take a look at it. Oh, it's fast. It's really fast.
Yeah. So basically, developer. I didn't do it on my own. It was part of a tutorial, but again, it was a full stack app with a whole Node.js backend, and it uses a lot of components, Redux, React. It even pulls your most recent repos if you log in.
Whoa! Wow. It's really, I mean, I love the speed of this, and it flies and it actually
just type in test. Just type in test. Heroku.com test.
Heroku.com
/test.
Oh, /test. Okay, there.
So it's basically, otherwise you would have just gotten a blank page. You still have the bar.
So if I saw this, my real, is it okay if I'm just can be really honest with you guys here on this call? If I saw this, I would actually reach out for an interview. A lot of developers don't have this stuff on there. They have broken links or like really baby projects that I just ignore. When I see like really small projects, it's like the simplest to-do list app or something that I feel like they just picked up from a tutorial. But this has multiple pages that I can go through. It has register login. None of the functionality seems broken. And even when I go to each thing, like how you were saying, it was pulling Git repos for Sven when I went, and it was pulling it, and it looks like it's actually working. So that's a really good sign to me. So this would actually get you a interview. I really think so.
But this is not yet. I'm still working on my portfolio.
Yeah.
In another group. Sven is part of the group.
Yeah.
And we're trying to build the portfolio from scratch from React, using React. And this will be one of the projects on that portfolio.
Okay, got it.
But I just wanted your feedback. So
yeah, that's my feedback for you. So
sorry.
Really
Thank you
job.
so much. Appreciate it.
Really good job. Another app that this person had on their portfolio really like blew my mind, and I was really excited about this. So I went here. It's Nosy Robinhood. So I'm like, okay, let's see how it works, right? Now there's demo, and I was already excited. I'm like, demo version. Because as a recruiter, I hate signing up to all of these just to test them, and I just ignore it. So your app will not get used by a recruiter if you don't have a demo login. So always have a demo login. Then I click the demo login and let me in. Look at that. That's a pretty sick front end, right? That's pretty damn good.
It is.
Whoops. Cool. Let me do that. Let's do that. All right. And as I was going through it, they're using a charting library. That seems pretty on point. Okay, so let's see what happens if I try to, let's see if I need to move this here. So let's see what happens if I try to change the, wow, it's responsive too. Right? Really responsive. So that's a really good sign when I see that. It's responsive. And can I buy new shares? Okay, so let's type in Tesla. And type in that. Okay, so freaks out over Tesla. Let's see, does it freak out? So that's not a good sign, but honestly, if somebody has a dummy project and it's that deep, that's good enough. Like, I'm not going to be nitpicking this and making sure every single thing in here is perfect. As long as I see this, I can see they have good front-end skills. I see they have, especially for a ReactJS developer, I'm really looking for front-end skills. One of the things, guys, that's one of the biggest turnoffs is poor front-end skills, especially if you're trying to apply for a ReactJS developer job. Your main thing is to provide a good UI user experience. So when your front-end skills are not good and I go to your portfolio page and it looks whack, that already kind of doesn't end up giving you a chance. Does that make sense?
So Kazi, what would you define a complete list of front-end skills from A to Z? So we have like a cheat sheet. So we make sure that when we approach any project, that's a must-have in every project.
I would worry less about a perfect cheat sheet. I would worry about more like, hey, can I make an app that looks very close to this thing? I mean, can you start off with just using HTML and CSS to design something that looks like this? That would be a great start. And then going next level, and because it's not just you need more technologies to be able to build this, right? It's not like now Redux can really make this happen, or there is new context API that's making this happen. This is just design skills. So in order to improve your design skills, one of the platforms I recently found, which this is not a promotion or anything. I just found them 2 or 3 days ago. I just signed up myself for them. I think their design is absolutely incredible on this platform. And so if you want to improve your design skills, you can sign up for something like this or go to a free resource. I don't care. Like, there's DevEd, there's plenty of free resources. So if you don't feel like paying, you don't have to. Just go and find something online. But their design skills are like, I've never seen better design skills in my life. So that, another resource that's good for inspiration is this. Because if you want to wow the recruiter, you have to understand that most times recruiters are not the best developers themselves. So before you can wow them with your code, wow them with your actual project. Who here has a GitHub? Do you guys want to drop your links to your GitHub profiles right now in the Zoom chat? I'm going to take a look at it. So GitHub is another really good resource. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so Atharva dropped his. I'm gonna give you real feedback, okay? Whoever's dropping them is just gonna give you real feedback on it. So here I'm gonna go instantly. When I look at this, I'm like, okay, he's modeling. When I see clones, I'm like, okay, he's getting this from some tutorials. Okay, so even though these are our tutorials on YouTube, that I have had a lot of people actually apply to our jobs using the tutorials that they've built from our platforms.
Oh no.
It's funny, but there's nothing crazy wrong with that. But one thing I do know is you've showed me that you can follow a step-by-step guide somewhere and build something. Still doesn't show me what you are doing. So right now when I see this, I'm like, I'm not sure what he's up to, right? And then I go to your GitHubs and I'm like, that's 109 contributions this year. And Akanji, you have to mute yourself, brother.
Sorry.
All good. Thank you. So, oh yeah, because you have two things you're using. Got it. So here, 51 contributions. I look at 2020. I'm like only 109 contributions this entire year. That's not that good. Can I make somebody co-host here if you can help me manage the sounds?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Kazi.
All right, I made you co-host as well, Joe.
Okay.
Just anytime there's a sound, maybe sometimes people forget to turn it off. Okay, cool. So that's great. So here, yeah, when I see 109 contributions, that's good. 51, 0, 0. So I imagine you really started in like 2019, and then really in 2020. I want to see more contributions. This is not enough contributions, okay? So like, for example, even if you take a look at mine, right? It's been a while since I've been coding a lot less now compared to how much I used to code. Like right now, I'm running a company as a CEO. I'm not sitting there writing code. I hire React developers, right? I'm not actually doing that much coding. But I have 91 contributions. If I go to 2019 or 2018, right? Wait, is this my profile? What the hell's going on? There we go. So 2016, you can see I was super active, right? So it doesn't need to be this crazy, but it should be somewhere here where when I look at your year, I can see, oh, this person is coding a lot. They're learning a lot, whatever it may be. So it's a good sign. Not the only sign, but if I see your portfolio and it doesn't look that good, I'm going to give you another chance by looking at your GitHub. So if your GitHub or your portfolio both let me down, then I'm just going to move on. That makes sense, Atharva?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there's
Also, I have a question. Like, if you just look at my homepage and you don't see any contributions, would you even care to go to the repository section, or you will stop right there as a recruiter?
So hold on. So tell me again what your question is. So if I go to your homepage of GitHub or what?
Yeah. So right here, if you just see, I have less contributions. So as a recruiter, would you care to just go to the repository section and just see what is happening, or would you just close the tab right there?
I might if I see something kind of interesting that catches my eye. If you have some type of, like right now, I don't know why, but I just don't feel like clicking on any of these because they're PHP. This is Android. So like, I'm just kind of avoiding them right now. But if you have projects, I might click on them and look inside. I'm looking for, can you also code on your own, not just follow tutorials? Really important. And what are your skills and how do you do it? So what I'm going to do is when I go to, say I go to your portfolio, I'm going to actually even click on your commits and see how you're committing. And I'm going to see how many commits you have done, and I'm going to see what you've done in those commits. So here's your initial commit, right? This is what you did in your initial commit, and then whatever you did in your next commit. But generally, I don't want to spend that much time just because we have so many job applications. So unless there's something really good signs I'm seeing already, I'm going to not go that deep into it. So when you,
Okay, got it.
one thing I recommend is if you don't have job experience, which almost every single person that's applying to our thing doesn't have job experience, so has very limited job experience, you need to have really solid project experience. If you have really solid, you're doing tons of projects, you will get a shot. If you can prove that you're coding and you're fucking hungry, not just through your words, but your actions, because GitHub doesn't lie, you will get a shot. But, if it's only tutorial-based stuff that then you won't really get a shot. They'll move on. Make sense? Okay, so I would definitely like to see some more of your projects, even if they're not that great, right? I want to see some of your additions in here. Who else shared their... So let's see here. We got... is it George or Jorge? Cisco.
Jorge. You can call me George.
Okay, Jorge, you got it. All right, so good photo. So Tarva, another thing, put a photo. I have this funny saying, no photo, no employment. Put a photo. Like, it's so freaking helpful. You have no idea. Even I'm doing a little bit of recruiting right now, and me and Daniel were going through it, and we ended up developing such a strong bias towards like somebody having a photo versus not. It's not the only thing, but you have to understand, okay, we're going to be working with this person for a really long time, right? So it actually helps to see your face or to see you smiling or something. You're like, oh, okay, cool. So the culture fit is actually more important than even the technical competence. So I don't know if you guys know this, but like they did a study of 20,000 hires. And they mentioned it in this book called Hiring for Attitude, okay? That's what the book, Hiring for Attitude. And in this study, what they found is only 11% of and they did a study of over 18 months of each new hire. And what they found is only 11% actually failed because of technical competence. Okay. 89% of the people, and when I say fail, what that means, they either resigned or were terminated. 89% of the people failed because of soft skills. Okay. So what does that mean? This is broken down. How they broke it down into is like coachability, temperament of that person. In other words, how I like to put it in really simple terms is vibe check. Did they pass the vibe check or not? Okay. So what's that person's vibe? What's their personality like? Do you see yourself wanting to work with them over a long period of time? Or do you feel like they're going to be a really good, technically skilled asshole? You don't want that, right? You guys don't want to work with somebody who's like intellectually superior and like tries to make everybody else feel down. So that's the last type of person people want to work with. So that's what they found was leading to this. Most companies, a lot of their interviewing process is actually mostly culture fit. And then they go into the interviewing process of technical skills. If you hear Naz's story, some of his interviews didn't even have any technical portion to it. Right? So very important. A lot of the people that work on our team at Clever Programmer, nobody ever really had to go through a technical assessment. It was mostly like, what's the culture fit? What's the level of the culture fit? Because people can still train you. So good photo, finance developer capable of, or freelance developer, I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Using proper communication with clients. Got it. And so I
need to change that because I kind of used NAS's description.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, this looks like Nas. I was laughing. I was thinking about that right now.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Nazi.
Sorry.
Hey, what's up, bro? Just mute yourself for now, please. Awesome.
Happy New Year, bro. It's 2021 in India.
Yeah. Oh, Happy New Year's. Yeah, that's actually awesome. In Sri Lanka too. So Amanath, it's Happy New Year's for him. That's amazing. Guys, isn't this exciting that we're getting to celebrate the New Year's together? Like, I actually think that's pretty freaking cool, right? That's awesome. That gets me so hyped up. Like, thank you guys for actually being on here. I appreciate you guys so much. And Otonio, that's actually a really dope background. I just noticed.
So Kazi,
Yeah.
you so far along you talked about GitHub and you never mentioned LinkedIn. Is that one thing that recruiters don't look at?
No, I look at that too. So I'll click on the resume and then I'll click on LinkedIn. Yeah, I will. Definitely recruiters look at it for sure. That's a good catch. So, but I'll tell you what I look for. I'm looking for, like, I'll go and see what's your, usually people have their photos on there. So I'm going to go see, okay, what's your, what's your personality like? Do you seem like a friendly person? I'll see what you're writing about. What's your past experience? And I might look at your endorsements. Endorsements is another thing that's kind of important. So yeah, here, if you had a portfolio, Jorge, I would want to definitely take a look at your portfolio. GitHub wise, for me, this is, there's just not a lot of action going on. Sometimes, people are working on private repositories. I understand that's possible. But if your portfolio doesn't catch my eye, and then I go dig deeper into your GitHub and that also doesn't really catch my eye, and I feel like there's like kind of, new level projects that you might be doing, then I'm going to be likely to skip past it, if that makes sense. So for me personally, I definitely want to see more code or more projects. I think that'd be a great sign.
Okay, cool.
So projects is,
Yeah, I need to.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I need to start doing more projects. I mean, and add them to my profile.
Yes, please. And add them. And like, okay, so let's say I go to one of your, let's say I go to this, right? Well, if I'm a recruiter and I go to this, I want to see a link to check this out. I might not understand the code that much. So I want to see what this is about and what's on the website. I want to see that as well. And when I look at the code, it doesn't seem like a lot of code. So, you know, I can't really figure out your skill level from this project. So that's one thing I recommend. You guys, any projects you have, always make it really easy to always have links. Okay, so I can click your thing and check your demo. Make it so there's a README. This does not have a README. That's another like bad sign. So README should give me clear instructions on what this is and how I can use it. A link to the actual working application. Huge things, guys. It gets you massive points.
Hey, Kazi.
Yeah.
Question. So if I have issues with deploying or any such situation, would you think that like a Loom video that explaining what the site is that you clicked on in there, would that help?
Where would you have the video? I'm sorry.
So if you clicked on the app, right?
So like here.
Yeah, and then you said in the about as opposed to the text. If I have a Loom video or something that when you click as a recruiter, you can hear me talking and explaining the project, all the different components are.
Okay. That's a tough one. I would give the recruiter an option, because recruiters, like, I have to go through 50 job applications or 100 job applications, you know, and I only have like 20 minutes, 30 minutes of time. So on average, recruiters won't take more than 5 to 7 seconds. If there's a link of your app, I just get to use it and check it out really fast. If I have to go through a video, that might take me a long time in your explanation of going through it. So I'd recommend, if you want to do that, put 2 options, right? Like here's the, what I would actually recommend is in the README, I would put a guide on how to use this or what this software is. And I would put that demoing the app. I think that would be really great if it's you demoing the app. And you're like, here this project has.
If I got the chance,
Let's just mute whoever's.
I'm trying to figure where it is.
Yeah, it's really hard.
I think it's Tommy.
Is there a way I can mute everyone and then?
Yeah, do that.
I'll just mute everyone.
From the microphone.
Okay, host mute.
I muted everyone. You can mute yourself now.
Thank you. So if you want to talk, Joe, just go ahead and unmute yourself. So yeah, I would recommend adding like a demo. Oh crap.
Kazi, I muted you.
Got it.
I've muted everyone.
I would recommend adding in the demo, like a little video demo of the app. That's a great sign. Hey, here's how the blog page works. Here I'm using React routers to switch between the pages. That's why you don't see a refresh. Here I'm using Redux to manage the state. That's why when you're going between this file and this file, you know, the data layer has, you know, is managing the state and blah, blah, blah. So as you're going through the app, that's how I would recommend to do it if you were demoing it, okay? So great. Let's, yep. So that's one thing I really liked about Anton. He had a bunch of projects, and then he had, I mean, this is by Peloton. So when I see Peloton, I'm like, okay, that's a big deal to have your name with Peloton. But I definitely still, another thing I thought was great about Anton is he actually submitted a cover letter. Most people don't submit cover letters. So he went above and beyond on that. And whenever you submit a cover letter, I'd highly recommend to try to make it as specific to the person that you're applying for, the job you're applying for, as possible. Okay. So this is for design. I really recommend, like learning some design skills, guys. They are so valuable. And even if you have a simple app that's not the most complicated app on the planet, you have to understand that as a recruiter, I'm seeing what catches my eye. I'm scanning really, really fast. So if I go to your portfolio and it's money and it gets me the information I'm looking for fast, that's all I need. Does that make sense? Right? And then once I see what your things look like, then my next step is to jump into your code a little bit. But in the start, not so much. In the start, I'm just like visually seeing. So these are some great resources you guys can write down about, like shape.so is one good resource for illustrations and design, and angle.sh is another good resource, and it works well with Figma and Sketch and all of that. So learn some basic skills. Just be dangerous enough. You don't have to go crazy with this. A resource I discovered a few days ago, which was awesome, is StackBlitz. And they are, I think in React documentation, they actually refer to StackBlitz as well. So it's pretty legit platform. And it's the only platform I saw that allows you to put things together really, really, really fast. So if you're building a React project or whatever it is, this allows you to, it's the most lightning fast one that I've found. And another really cool thing about them is one click, it allows you to host to Firebase. So the whole time you're creating your app, it's showing up here and it's live. So already, do you guys see that link? It's not just local host. This app is already hosted. So anybody can go and check it out. So if I change this to say, hello Atharva, or hello ReactJS lovers, put heart sign here, right? And save it. If you go to this link, this app is already hosted and this app is already running, which is super cool. So it really makes it easy for sharing. It already has the React project, like create app thing done. And you can very easily see what dependencies your project has and if you need to install any. So good resource that I highly recommend that you guys use.
Do you have to be a member though to get to be able to save your apps?
To save, I don't think you have to be a member. I don't know why I became a member. I started paying for it, but to save, I don't think you need to be a member.
Because that's cool.
Yeah, you don't need that. Code Sandbox is another one. They're both really good, but StackBlitz was just faster. It was lightning fast, and it actually is using Visual Studio Code. So you can just download your extensions and whatever you want, just like how you would in Visual Studio Code. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is who here knows about class components in React? Raise your hands or say aye. Cool. So a few people. Who here knows about functional components in React? Okay, cool. So these are both good things to know about and understand. If you know functional components, don't skip on class-based components. Make sure you understand them, because a lot of tutorials are in class-based components. Okay, Atharva, I'm sure like you probably looked it up, and a lot of them still class-based, right?
Yeah, and one more advantage of using class-based component is that when you get a job, like there are many people who use class-based component, and you need to convert them to functional based, and you can just provide mobile there.
Yeah, so many jobs are still using this, right? And functional components is a new way to go. So a lot of jobs still are on class-based components, and then they're trying to move to functional components.
Kazi, question.
So
class-based component, is that associated normally with React Native?
No, that's associated with ReactJS, but I think in React Native, you probably have them as well, I imagine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we actually have them. We can use it's general for React. I mean,
yeah, whether you're doing ReactJS or React Native, I think they're both there, functional versus class-based components. I think the only main difference between ReactJS and React Native is Instead of those like HTML elements, you're writing those like
Yes, sir.
you're writing those
Yeah.
like view and whatever, right? Viewport and those types of
Yeah, I
elements.
mean, in ReactJS, React converts like there's a virtual DOM, but in React Native it directly connects with Android and iOS things.
Yep. All right. So great. So that's good. Now so yeah, this is a good resource to be able to do that. And like, look, if you forgot how to export a function or you forgot some syntax, it gets you up and running right away. So you can always see what the boilerplate React app looks like without any of that additional, additional code. Okay, cool. So make sure you understand, the difference between, when I write class-based components will look like class, app extends react.component. That's kind of what they'll look like, if I'm not mistaken. And then your class-based ones will look like this, or function-based will look just like that. Right? It'll be like function app, whatever. Or what you might also see is this type of notation. Boom. All right, cool. So that is a good resource. And let's go here. This is a great resource for you guys to go through and understand. So this is a React job interview from a recruiter perspective. I actually use this to prepare better for the interviews that I was doing with people. Okay, so it has some key questions in here that it asks, and you guys should know these questions. When
Can you post the link in the chat if you don't mind?
Sure thing. And if any of you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you could please post this link on YouTube as well, that'd be great. Awesome.
Thank you.
I just posted.
Okay. And if David is here, if you can ask Amanat for the 30-day React Challenge link, that would be cool too. All right. So these are lists of questions that are good. These are not the only questions. So if you prepared for them, that does not mean you are now ready to get any React job. They're to give you a sense of, what's going on. Okay. So there's some questions that you guys should know about that are important. So a lot of questions are behavioral questions that you will be asked. I ask these all the time. Can you tell me about your previous job? How did you fit in with the team? Now, in the book Hiring for Attitude, what he says is it's bad to ask leading questions. So some recruiters might not ask you leading questions. So do you guys see the part where it says, how did you fit in with the team? That's a leading question. Do you guys understand what I mean when I say that? Yeah? No?
Leading meaning as it leads.
So like, for example, what if there were 400 times, or let's say, what if there were 499 times where you did not fit in with the team? Okay. But there was one time, so there was only one time you did fit in with the team. When you ask me this leading question, I will give you this example where one time in my life I did fit in with the team. Does that make sense?
Yep.
If I don't ask this leading question as a recruiter, then it's up to you to answer it. And if you don't answer that and you don't tell me that, then it probably might mean that you did not really fit well with your team. But they will ask you, I just want you to be aware that they will ask you open-ended questions. Okay. So when that happens, just make sure that you're answering truthfully and over-communicate. Don't under-communicate. Okay. So they might be looking for, you talking, but you also talking about maybe how you went above and beyond. One question I ask is, could you tell me about a time, you had a difficult situation with a coworker? Somebody who's a negative person might actually, or as a problem maker instead of a problem solver, they'll be like, oh yeah, there was this one time I worked with Joe. He was just so negative and he was just so down, and you couldn't get anything past Joe. So eventually I just thought, okay, I should just give up and then we just agreed to disagree, and that was it. So does that sound like somebody who's a problem solver or a problem maker? problem maker, right? But if there was somebody else who was like, hey, yeah, Joe, he had a negative outlook, but I went and I saw that Joe wasn't feeling good about this, but I explained it to him from my perspective. And I really worked with him to see maybe some benefits of this project. And eventually Joe was on board, and Joe actually even helped us like crush it on this project. Now, does that sound like somebody who's a problem maker or a problem solver?
Problem solver.
That's a problem solver, right? So that's the type of stuff that you're looking for here. And there are a bunch of other questions. Then at some point, they recommend asking technical questions too, right? So some technical things that are good to understand for you guys. There are a bunch of technical things here that you guys can look at. So, they'll ask questions about what's the difference between class-based components and functional components, right? In a class-based component, where's a good time to call the API and load data? So those are important as well. All right, so let me just highlight this one. Boom. Okay, cool. So that's good. And then what do I have here?
Isaac, what was the name of the book you just said? You just gave a title of some book. Hiring for the attitude, or?
Hiring for Attitude. That's a good book for recruiters.
No, I mean, if you read it, at least you get a perspective of what the recruiter mindset is.
You might get some insight, but that book is like pretty advanced in a way that like it mostly talks about things that most recruiters are not doing. And like it talks about how to solve that problem with the recruiters and like what types of questions to ask for. And so I'm learning how to be a better recruiter. But yeah, read it and maybe it might give you some insight. Just overall from, if you guys want to keep it simple on your end and not have to learn everything on the planet, get really good technical skills with React, understand how it's working at a really deep level. So yes, building clones will help you. But on top of that, what's going to really help you is a really solid understanding of how React works. How does it work under the hood? What are props? What are states? What's prop drilling? What does it mean when somebody says lifting a state up of the app? So there are technical things that you should understand as well. Above and beyond that, understand how to answer behavioral questions. That's really, really key. Okay. So I cannot emphasize that enough. Most of you won't get into the second or the third round of the interviews until you're answering the behavioral questions that they ask you. So if they identify that you might be somebody who's a problem maker, they're not going to move you on to the next rounds. So yeah, actually, Joe, now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably a good book to read. Because it does talk about what good answers look like, versus what bad answers look like. So they actually give you a big list of good answers and bad answers, and that's usually really helpful.
I mean, if you go into what the recruiter mindset could be like, you stand an advantage as opposed to a disadvantage, right?
Yeah, that's true. You do. That's true. So what I want to do right now is open it up to you guys, and whether you guys want to ask me questions or whether you guys want me to go through your portfolio, definitely jump in, and I would love to do that. Whether you want me to go through your portfolio or your GitHub.
Yeah, I would like you to go in mine. I posted it in the chat.
Okay. So Nakanji wants me to go through your portfolio.
Also, I had a question.
Okay.
So this is a thing I also covered in my video, but what if some person just comes to you and gives you a portfolio? So portfolio can be of two types. So I'm talking about the domain name. So it can be atharvadhyastra.com, or it can be atharvadhyastra.herokuapp.com or netlify.com.
Uh-huh.
So does it make any difference as a recruiter when you see netlifyapp.com or herokuapp.com in the URL? Does it sound unprofessional to you?
I personally don't care that much about where you host it. I don't.
I mean, about the domain name.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like domain wise, I don't really care that much about the domain. Maybe a little bit of bias. Like when I see herokuapp.com, I'm like, is this person a student? Are they just like recently learning this stuff? And oftentimes when I do see herokuapp.com and when I see these ones, it does turn out that a lot of them are like students and stuff. So it's a little bit of a bias, but that could also just be me as a recruiter. So if but I would focus more on the types of projects you're building rather than because if you have good projects and it looks damn good, I don't care. It could have a whatever domain name and it'll still be good.
Okay.
So looking at this here, let's see.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh crap, my bad. Sorry guys. So looking at this project here, or the GitHub. So one thing I recommend for you guys is Code Stacker has this really good video on YouTube. Him and I should do a collab. If somebody wants to send him this part of me talking about his channel, please do. I'd love to collab with him at some point. I love his videos. They're great. So he has one on GitHub README. You guys should definitely check this out. And you can make your profile look awesome. So for example, this is what it would look like. So this is an example of what your new GitHub profile would look like. If somebody lands here and see this, that's much better than them just seeing the repos. Would you agree? Right? So take advantage.
This looks cool.
This looks really good, right? So make your GitHub look like this. I mean, when I see 1,500 contributions, that's really good sign, right? That's somebody who's like coding actively. I can even see here whether it was commits or code reviews. If it's commits, to me, that means this person is actually coding, right? Like if it's simply code reviews and they're not doing that difficult of tasks. I also like to see contributions. So I see that this person contributed to actually a few different, wow. So let's see, renderless README stats. Okay, so let's go here. So it seems like this person actually contributed to that. That's a really good sign. Unless that's his library. If it is, that's pretty freaking sick. But yeah, there you go. So if you watch that video tells you how to make your GitHub profile like that. Okay, Jesus. That's aggressive. All right, so let's go through more. Do you guys have more portfolios you guys want me to go through? So let's see here. We got Awani has a portfolio as well. So let's take a look at it. And if you guys have portfolio websites, send me those as well. So if not just your GitHub, so send me that. So if I look at this as a recruiter, I kind of immediately know this is somebody who's a student or learning right now. Which is, there's nothing wrong with it, but, contributions wise, Awani, great job. This was really great amount of contributions in a short amount of time. So keep that up. Okay. And are you there, by the way, Awani?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So good job on the contributions. Let's see previous years if you did anything. So little bit here and there. But this year, it seems like is the year where you're actually focusing on coding. So good job. Contributions, I definitely want to see. Or sorry, yeah. Definitely want to see. So yeah, I would say, you're probably new to coding. How new are you?
I have a huge break in between. Like I used to work, but then I took a break.
Got it.
Then I'm starting again.
Okay, so if you can work on some projects that are your own, I think that'd be a really good sign. Because if I go through your projects that you have worked on, then boom, that's like for example, if I go to my, what is it? Repositories. Actually, I'm going to get out of here for now, just because if I can find it. I don't know if it's a private repo or not. So let's see, private. So like, for example, if you're going through this project, right? This is not some big clone of some kind of app, but this is a Python Django project. And if you go through it, you'll see, oh, okay, 265 commits. If you go into Insights, Insights will also tell you like how much people were committing and what's the code frequency. So there's a lot of code that was added and deleted over a period of time in 2016. And if you even go through this project, there's a lot going on and you can see the code. So you can go through it and you can be like, okay, so this is what's happening here. Let's go look at models. Okay. A lot is happening here. Right? That's not, when you see just that one file, that to you doesn't seem like this is somebody who just started coding, right? And it also might mean that this is not just a project that somebody found on like a random website. This is like a full-on project that they're doing from scratch. And then there's like tons of documentation that goes along with it. And that was just one file out of all of the files that I've shown. So this is a really, really massive project. So this project alone can be pretty good for, like, if I wanted to go in the job market, this alone would be pretty good for landing me jobs for a really long time. So it's a good, that's why if you guys, instead of working on many projects, if you spent 3 months, 6 months, 9 months working on one project, I think that's a really smart idea. Because you don't really improve that much development skills, honestly, guys, when you just keep working on more projects. You will improve your skills a lot by just working on one project for a really long time. Okay? So would recommend that really strongly. Okay?
Excuse me, I got a question for you, bro.
Go for it, Timothy.
So, first of all, thank you so much for doing this for all of us. So, I'm a UX UI designer by trade. I'm just getting into GitHub and JavaScript. The first question is, was it possible that you could put that video you're talking about in the link I could check out? And then two, what could you recommend for a UI designer like myself? Because I'm more towards the UX aspect of it.
Yeah.
If you have any recommendations or some notations you could share. Thank you.
You want me to put the link for what?
That video you were talking about and how to like navigate through the GitHub. So I'm very new to GitHub.
Okay. So that video, oh shit, what did I do with that video?
Thank you.
Did I not put that? Can somebody please put that video? It's by Code Stacker and it's called GitHub README. If somebody could please put that in the chat. Code Stacker, GitHub README. That's the, if you YouTube that, it'll come up. Somebody can put the link. And then outside of that, my front-end skills are bad. Okay, my UI UX skills are not that good. I myself am now trying to learn and improve my skills. So I'm personally going through this guy's course right now. When I look at his front end, I'm like, this is the type of front end I would want to have on my website. It just looks freaking gorgeous. Like, look at this. Every single thing is just made with so much love and it's so good, so I'm going through this personally to improve my skills. If I could recommend you something, there are probably a lot better people than me that would give you better recommendations. But one thing that I would recommend is have inspirations. So like, I know that you probably use Dribble, but whatever you're building, try to build off of some inspiration that looks really good. For me, even though I'm bad at UI UX, because I have a good eye in what looks good and what is simple enough and what looks good enough, that alone makes me really good at it because I can just copy, I can see what those are looking like, so I can model it in my own design. So that's one thing I would recommend. Outside of that, I think that course is a really good place. And yeah, Tommy, hopefully that helps a little bit.
Yeah, thanks, Quasi. I appreciate everyone's helping time. Thank you.
You got it.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Awesome. Let's see. Alan Benjamin. So, are you here, Alan?
I'm here.
Oh. Do you guys have this new Chrome update which sucks as well? That always crashes?
Yeah, I put mine off.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I'm using them in MacBook, so I'm just fine with Safari.
So bad. It is so bad.
You need a new plugin for that.
Yeah. Goodness. Ooh, these logos look delicious. Okay. So let's go here. We got Alan Benjamin. Okay. Dope photo, really nice suit. If you can have a simpler photo where you're smiling, might be better, just because if I'm on a screen that's not as big as mine or I'm on a phone, I might not be able to see you that much. So I think it might look better like that. Outside of that, on the portfolio side, let's see. So 56 contributions. So, it seems like I want you to have more contributions for sure. This is, to me, it seems like you recently started coding around September. Is that right or no?
Well, I've been coding for a while. I've just been kind of sporadic here and there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then in terms of your projects, like have some interesting projects that, like when I look at them, they're not, because a lot of them, it seems like they're from tutorials, which is okay. But what I recommend is, sure, get Amazon clone or something like that from a tutorial, but there's nothing stopping you from forking it and turning it into your own full projects and adding in like full-on e-commerce functionality, adding in a dark mode and a light mode, adding in fancy cards. One thing that I was laughing at and I'm thinking about making a series on when I get my design skills better is a 2050 series. So what it's going to be like is it's going to be Amazon and Airbnb, but in a futuristic 2050 design, or what I think would be a futuristic design. So I would just try to make it look really damn good, and just something that's fun and unique. So I would recommend doing that. So these projects are your own.
Okay.
And then let me go here. Also, when I go to your projects, there's no README and there's no link. So to me, it makes you seem inconsiderate, because if I'm about to hire somebody on my team, I'm like, it seems like this person doesn't really care. If you were on a team with my other software developers, I wouldn't want you on that team, because I'd be thinking, this is the guy that's not going to write the READMEs, is going to do just his own thing, and there's no documentation, isn't making life any easier for any other developer, so I'm out. So I would highly recommend to add additional READMEs wherever you can, add in links to the project. So, if I'm a recruiter and you built this clone, then definitely make it easy for me to see it. Okay. I don't know if you guys are familiar with README, but this file, whatever you have in it, right, will show up down here.
I know you can edit it as far as when you actually do it. You can actually edit it. You can actually edit it while you're doing it now, like in GitHub.
Yeah.
And you can also do it when you like you're doing you actually download React too.
Yep. So yeah, you can
You can use HTML tags in there basically.
Yeah, it's a Markdown file. So if you guys know a little bit of Markdown, you can easily do it with Markdown. But yeah, you can do it from wherever. You could change it from GitHub. You could change it from your local environment. Push it to GitHub. But one thing I definitely want to see from people who are new, like if you're new, at least show me you're really, really hungry. So if this is really filled with green, really good sign. If there are projects outside of the Amazon clone, that also shows me you're hungry and you want more and you're doing coding on your own, not just copying from somewhere or modeling from somewhere. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to do just enough to have a portfolio to get a job. So try to go above and beyond it, and that's a really, really good sign. Okay. But good job. You have tons of repositories that you're working on, and you have tons of coding stuff you're doing. So that's really good. And let's see what's happening here. 60 days of React. Okay, cool. That's good. And let's see. Okay, adding NYCD to digital clock. Okay, so I'm not sure what NYCD is. So, I think sometimes it's helpful to add your commits in a way where they're readable. So if I go down to your commit level, can I understand what you're doing? Because if you're working on my team as a software developer, I definitely want you to be adding stuff that makes a lot of sense, right? So then we can easily backtrack or understand what's happening in the software. So for you, a lot of what I will say, Benjamin, is, do you go by Alan or Benjamin?
Benjamin my first name.
Benjamin.
My last name.
Got it. So what I would say, Benjamin, is a lot of, you can't go wrong with adding documentation, README, and like links to your projects. I think that is where I really would want you to focus and start there.
Okay.
I think especially for beginners, you guys, you have, if you're in a beginner or intermediate, or you don't have a ton of job experience, I cannot stress enough how far good READMEs and good documentation will take you. It will take you so far, because you can be not a great developer, but if I know you're considerate and you care so much about the team and you're making it easy to use, I know you're going to be a pleasure to work with. So then all I have to do is bring you on the team and let the senior developers take you on board and mentor you. Does that make sense? Have them guide you through the process and make you better. So those are my thoughts on this. Cool?
I just dropped my portfolio. I just deployed it right now.
Oh, you did? Okay, so let me actually share the screen again and chat portfolio. All right. Let's do this. Atharva. Ooh, fancy. Fancy schmancy. So that's cool. Okay. And how does it look in mobile? Okay. And you sure it looks good on a phone?
No, I need to fix it.
Okay. So recruiters sometimes are going from the phone too. One thing, so let me see if I can do this. Let's see if I can. Okay. I'm trying to find somebody's portfolio. And if I could find it, that'd be really good. So, okay, johnnycodes.com. Okay, there we go. So this was a really good portfolio. This gentleman got an interview from us, and I had an interview with him. This is really good. So I would model this, you guys. Keep it simple. Honestly, if you try to add too many fanciness or too many animations, and you don't even have to add this animation, like you guys can keep it much, much simpler than that. And I would highly recommend that you guys do, because when people start adding a lot of animations and a lot of fanciness, that's where you go wrong, and it doesn't actually look as good. It just overcomplicates it. So keep it really, really simple. I saw this. I'm like, okay, really simple, really clean. I came down to projects. Super easy to understand what his projects are. Boom. Skills. This is beautiful to look at, right? These are the skills that we're looking for. Great. So a good skill match. These are the tools this person understands. Great. And then contact. So I recommend having something simple as a good starting point, and then you can improve on that. So no, Atharva, if I saw this, I would really quickly hit the red X and I'd be out. So I think that where you're going wrong with this, so like if I'm looking to hire a front-end developer, their front-end needs to be good. So here it's right? Like you see the aspect ratios of the images. The images have really low quality, right?
Yeah, I'm noticing right now.
Right? So like really low quality images, not really easy to understand what's happening. It doesn't pop out. So this is where you're going wrong. You have to model something that is good. So right now, I don't know who you're modeling, but try to model somebody, you know, that's doing a good job of it. Bunch of images, even here, like seems squeezed. I don't know why. Like even the contact me button there looks like it's squeezed. You know, this image aspect ratios are completely off. So I would start off with a simple website that is functional and it looks good, and that's it. I would add additional fanciness later on. But like as soon as I go to developers where the portfolio is not looking that great and it's a UI UX and like React developer, I get out really, really fast. Okay. I could be doing it in an unfair way, but I get out fast. Okay.
Got it.
Cool. All right, let's see. Are there any other? Sohail, okay. Are you here, Sohail?
This video I want to show you guys what I did to power on my MacBook Pro because it would not turn on. All right. Now there are a few different.
The hell's going on? Okay. Sohail, what's going on? I'm muting you right now because I'm not understanding what's happening. Okay. So.
Yes, I'm here now.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So going through this, okay, full stack, web and mobile developer. This reads too long, so, you know, it doesn't look that great. And, you know, this seems like it's not properly aligned. Don't know why that is. Maybe this part should be matching down here with the text editor's part. Something seems uneven about this. Okay, so clone, dope, and then let's go down. Okay, clone. So yeah, it just seems like you got some projects, but other than that, like it's if I saw this portfolio, I would decline. Okay, so yeah, I would work on your React skills, and guys, make your portfolios look good. Go look at a YouTube video where somebody builds a portfolio. Watch how they do it. Build a good portfolio, because if you don't have a good portfolio, you're going to get skipped over, and it's just unfortunate. Like you might have really good projects, you might have all this stuff, going to get skipped over. For you, I would recommend you build some of your own projects too, because if I don't like your portfolio and how it looks and the design looks bad, I'm already like not considering you. Then when I see the projects and they're all clones, I'm definitely like, okay, I'm out. I want to see stuff that's, you know, that you also have done. So let's go here to GitHub, and let's see what we find in GitHub. Okay, cool picture. Let's go. All right, and you know, not a lot of contributions. And okay. So when you're making your repos, also make sure they're spelled correctly. So like editor is misspelled as well. So that's also not a good sign. So for you to make it a productive conversation, work on your actual ReactJS skills, make your portfolio look good, and add some of your own projects. Got it?
Yes, thank you. Actually, this portfolio was made with HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. No JavaScript.
Okay.
React.
I mean, yeah, you should still be able to make it look good without anything else outside of HTML and CSS. Okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. So I would work on front-end skills more. All right.
Can you go to my GitHub?
Okay, Bishesh, where is it? Can you link me again, please?
Sure, I'll just put it in chat.
All right.
So how many like our own projects we have like in our portfolio? I know the minimum like 3.
This is nice. So I'm immediately wowed. So that's a really good sign. Okay. If I'm a recruiter and I'm immediately wowed, it's a really good sign. So if I were one of you guys on here, I would screenshot this right now. And I would try to build something similar to this on my GitHub. Really, really good time to screenshot this.
Screenshotted already.
Okay, good. So I know that Code Stacker teaches you how to build it like this, but it's important to then go and actually do that. All right, let's go down. Okay, decent amount of contributions. This is good. All right, Navbar React, you got Gmail clone, you got LinkedIn clone, travel agency, 50 projects, 50 days. Okay, so you've been working. You got 71 commits in December. Nice. That's some good work. Latest YouTube videos. Okay, so what does that mean? Are these your videos or whose videos are these?
Hi everyone, this is here with the new video.
Oh shit, these are your videos.
Yeah, I was doing from your challenge, video challenge, YouTube video challenge that you started. Yeah, I was starting from there.
Dude, nice work. Nice. Okay, where did it go? Wait, what happened? All right, cool. So yeah, that's really, really good. If you're also explaining it and helping, I mean, dude, if your recruiter sees this, they're going to interview you, guaranteed. If I saw this, I would reach out and interview you. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then, you got good contributions. You got good stuff going on. Yeah, you're definitely going to get an interview based off of this.
Thank you.
Awesome. And, if we just go down and break it component by component, okay, you're a full stack developer. Good. React, JavaScript, Node.js, and Firebase. Okay. Master React, complete learn, contribute to open source projects. Okay. Cool. So fun, playful, intelligent technologies. Visually, I can see all the technologies. So as a recruiter, I don't have to scan through his portfolio to see what tech stack he uses, right? I can immediately see that React and JavaScript and Firebase is part of his stack. So it's a good sign. All right. Let's go back. Boom. Yug Gurung, you want me to go through yours right now? Okay. Should I do roasts? Should we turn this into a roast, you guys? Ask you guys for a medium roast, light roast, or a dark roast, or a decaf?
No, man.
You guys,
Dark roast.
What, Joe? You don't want me to do it, or you want me to do it?
No. Why would you roast?
But if you want a decaf, then you don't get then you just get the sweetest one. All right, who here is in 1980s right now? And making the dial-up sounds.
Can you mute?
Let's mute everybody, please. Thank you.
I muted everybody. You
Thank
can
you.
unmute.
Got it. Thank you. Awesome. So here we go. What the?
Oh no.
Did we get him? Did we get the guy? Hello? Okay. Hopefully we got him. Whoever that was. Okay. So no. This is a no for me. Nice photo though. You got a great personality. Okay. So damn, the COVID tracker that's looking nice. Oh yeah, this COVID tracker is definitely going to get you guys job opportunities. This is freaking sick. But why is it all red? Yeah, this is a really good freaking project to have, man. Yeah, from a recruiter perspective, now I see the value of that project and why it's so freaking powerful. Nice. Good. So I would work on the... Okay. So Yug, I think that's you. Just keep yourself muted because there's a lot of background noise. But just type in your chat, just respond through chat or ask questions through chat. But what I will say is improve your front-end skills. So, get better at CSS and get better at HTML and like understand how to make your website look nice. Model something that looks good and simple. And guys, the easiest way to go wrong is trying to do too much, right? So like adding this stuff in the background, adding all this stuff in the background, really easy to go wrong. If you just have white background or a black background, you can't really go wrong that easily. Just a simple black background, guys. One type of text. Keep it really, really simple. Also, another thing, right? What's up with all this space that's not being used? So you want to make sure that that's there. Oh, shit. That's cool. Some kind of React component animation here. Cool. So yeah, I would definitely rebuild this page completely, and you can model Johnny's page, okay? This is a phenomenal page to model. That's great. So something like this, keep it simple. You can go and view his page source and see how he's doing it, okay? So that's what I would recommend. All right. Bishesh has to go. Awesome. Well, Happy New Year to you. And let's see. Is there anybody else who wants to go through it, or are we good, guys? Is there any other questions you guys have for me while I'm here?
I don't have a portfolio, but I have a YouTube channel.
Not right now for YouTube.
Okay, sure.
Who was that?
Hardeep.
Okay. Okay, so you posted it. Got it. Let's go. All right, so Hardeep, smile in your photo. You look like a serial killer. No, I'm kidding. Definitely smile in your photo, okay? You have great personality. You're smiling already, so you look pretty badass. I'd be intimidated to work with you as a developer. I'm like, this guy can code better than me, and he looks better than me, and he's angry. Like, this is intimidating. So just add a smile in there, and that would be great. More contributions, okay?
Okay.
Definitely say improve the level of contributions. This is good. The greenery I see here is good. Clones are good, but make sure you're also building some of your own projects, all right?
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, tractor. So you guys see the difference, right? For example, it's really easy to scan this and know everything, tech stack and all of that. Here, I don't even immediately know that you do React. See what I'm saying? It's not really immediately obvious to me unless I start reading the description of your GitHub profiles. So this is why this is beneficial for you to have something like this.
Okay.
Let's go through 2019. No, 2020 or 2018, not much. All right. So to me, it looks like you recently started coding. I don't know. You might have been coding for a while.
No, I just started recently.
Okay. So I want to see some of your projects in there. And do you have a portfolio or no?
No, I haven't made that yet.
Okay. So definitely build a portfolio. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. So what? Yeah. So my recommendation to you: build some of your own projects, code more. I want to see like 900 commits from you or 1,000+ commits from you in 2021.
You got it.
Better portfolio, better whatever. You'll be ready. Okay. And resumes are really important too. I've totally forgot to touch base on them. I don't know why, because I think we had already so much to cover. Do any of you guys want me to take a look at your resumes?
Hey, Kasi, could you please check out my Github profile too?
Ashwin, okay, drop the link.
Thank you. I just dropped it.
Okay. So let's go through it. Okay. Smile more if you can.
Okay.
Like happy, Like it's really crazy, guys, how much it makes a difference. People don't understand, but it really, really makes a difference. Okay, if you're just happy and you're smiling, I can see your teeth. Really good thing. It gives you a little boost. It's not gonna be the thing that gets you hired, but it gives you a little boost. Not a lot of contributions, so that's not that great.
What if I have dentures, man?
What? Oh, dentures? Okay. I mean, I think you'll still look great. It's probably not as bad as you think. But if you're really insensitive or insecure about it, it's okay. Just smile and just be a really good fucking coder, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I just started off recently, so I don't have much on Github.
Okay, so I went. So this will get you decline. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I think this expired. This link, this fast start, I think they dropped the website, so I just moved it to Netlify.
Yeah. So that would be enough to get you declined. Okay. So if you guys have like, this is one of the biggest pet peeves, guys, for recruiters. Like, you guys will put links, but they're not updated and they link to somewhere where it goes to die. All right. It's really frustrating because you have limited time as a recruiter. You click a link and boom, it's dead, or it's not updated, or the site is down, or the site is too slow. If you guys do Heroku app, just one thing, be careful. Heroku has like a freaking 40-second timer for the website to open up the first time. It's so slow. So this is why Netlify, I think, is a good sign, because like that's fast, right? That's pretty fast. Okay, good. So this is good. Go here, boom, boom. I see your tools, data, QA, full stack. Okay. Work, nice. Visit website. So let's see. Dope. So I can see the website. So here's what I would improve here. I don't care what TransLink does. This is not about TransLink. This is your portfolio. I don't care that they are dedicated to creating and sustaining. I'm a recruiter. I don't give a shit what TransLink is. I only care about this person that I'm trying to hire. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I want to see what you did. You could have just done nothing and linked their website. To me, right now, it seems like you did nothing and just linked their site. And now
I didn't know what to put there, so I just put like a description of the company and
so what did you do for them?
I just did an internship for 8 months. I did some Python and then I did SQL and I did some data kind of stuff like visualization.
I did an internship at this company. I used Python and did
right? Kazi, Python to do what? Like what function?
Yeah, I thought I have that on my resume, so I didn't cover that here. Should I put the same stuff here too?
So like, for example, this is just a really short example, right? I would rather say something like this. I would see, okay, so you did an internship, you use Python, and you did some data visualizations for them. You use Postgres. So here, I want you to actually get technical in what you did, right? Like, I reduced their load time from, this is one thing that a lot of people do, and it's a smart thing to do. Like, I reduced their load time from 803 milliseconds down to 17 milliseconds. I don't know what you did for them, right? But if you can quantify it, that's a really good sign.
Okay, I'll change this one.
So boom, boom. I would definitely change all three of those in what you did. That would be a great sign.
Hey, Kazi, question.
Thank you.
Another thing I'd recommend is, let's see, what is this? So here, are those clickable, by the way? They're not clickable, right?
No,
what I would recommend is actually just put the tech stack here that you used. So I would put the logo of Python, and I would put the logo of Postgres, and I would put the logo of, I don't know what you use, D3.
Power BI, SQL, and all those.
SQL. So I would put the logos of them. And here as well, if you can, see if you can put logos instead that are visible like this. Right? Like, these are established logos and tools. So it's a really good sign to do that. Because, like, you can speak with this, but it's much better if I see your tools visually.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Want to work with me? Nice. Okay. This is pretty good. Oh, nice. You work for Zoho? Dope.
Yeah. I was in Chennai first, and then I moved to Canada to do my master's.
So you have quite a bit of experience. I would definitely highlight more of that somehow. Okay, so, I don't know if, like, you...
Yeah, the thing is, most of my work experience is all related to mechatronics. So the only job I did related to programming was in Cognizant, and that was testing. So it's not kind of helping me too much to get interviews.
I would still put that. I would still put that somewhere. You know, your internship with Python and this, and communicate what technologies you're using, because tons of new people are landing. Like, you know, Johnny, he's never gotten a job as a software developer actually. So think about that, right? But he's got an interview with us. So he did something that worked.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would model what works very closely. I wouldn't try to worry about being unique, being creative. I would try to model it very closely. If it worked, then model it and just then work on improving your skill set.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
You got it. All right. Mike Torres. Where is Mike? You on here, Mike?
Yes, I'm on here. I just joined, but I've been watching from YouTube. But I finally got the computer, so.
Okay. Got it. Awesome. So, got it. Let me go and, you want me to check out what first? Your GitHub or what?
Sure, you can start with my GitHub, and then my portfolio and LinkedIn.
Okay.
Good.
So that's a really good sign to me. You got good amount of contributions this year. That's really good. And I can also see that you're recently coding as well. I always want to see that, because if I see a drop off after September or whatever, I'm like, are they losing interest in coding? What's going on? All right. You got a bunch of clones, Node app 2020. So let's see what's happening here. So thank you for having a link and caring about other human beings. So let's see if it works. Now this is another test. Yeah, so this is why if you guys can avoid Heroku app, avoid it. It's just such a slow load time, right? Like, you could be a great developer, but if you have such a slow load time, it kind of shows, oh, this person doesn't know about speed, you know, and like performance is really, really important. All right, so let's go through this. Note. What am I supposed to do? What's happening here? What the? Whoa. Okay, so it just took probably some time for it to be generated. All right. Whoa. Okay, this is pretty cool. But I don't know why everything moves. Huh. Okay, let's click it. That's dope. Yo, what's going on, man? Okay, that's pretty dope. That's actually really cool. That's a cool app. I like it. Do you have any deeper level projects that you've done?
I guess like the grammable one would be one. It was from a coding boot camp that I did. We learned Ruby on Rails for object-oriented programming.
Which one?
To be honest, the grammable, bottom right.
Yeah. To be honest, what?
But recently, I guess ever since about August, September, when I caught on to your React stuff, I'm learning so much more to do that.
Wow.
So,
okay. Got it. So yeah, this is what I like about this project is this is the project I would really pay a lot of attention to, because there's a lot going on here and it seems like a deep project. Now, one problem might have happened is you might not have learned that much because they might have gone at a really fast pace and had you build this. But still, like, I want to see deeper level projects that you worked on. And so when I see clones, I like them, but I also know that they're probably, you know, you might have modeled it from somewhere. So
sure.
I always want to see your ability to code. If that can be highlighted, I think that's a great sign.
Okay.
Yeah, so like even when you guys have this type of stuff where Bishesh had his in the start, if you guys have some of your own projects that you're working on, I would recommend highlighting those right around here, okay? So some of your own projects you're working on, I think that's a good, because not everybody's making YouTube videos. So here, put projects you're working on, boom, that's phenomenal. Okay? Other than that, let's see your portfolio and what that looks like. So let's go MikeTorres.com. Okay, so it says not secure. So see if you can figure out what's going on with HTTPS. It takes a second to load. I mean, it takes a really long time to load. So just be aware of performance issues. Looks great. So it looks really good. Let's go here. Are we sure it works really well on mobile too? Seems like it does. Nice job. Okay. Nice. Okay, that's really good. How you show your projects is really good. Okay. You would get an interview. You would definitely get an interview with this. The only things I worry about, and I would really recommend this, and I keep coming back to this, guys, everybody gets caught up in being really fancy. Keep it simple, because you're going to run into a lot of issues where it's going to load really slow, and it doesn't mean you're a bad developer, but if a recruiter doesn't even wait till it's finished loading, they won't be able to see your skill set.
Okay.
So highly recommend to make that faster, okay? And just remove any complexity. It's okay. If you want to remove animations, keep it simple, and then just go through it, and then it lets me get through to all the good stuff faster. Okay. Let's see here. Chat. Boom.
And then I guess the LinkedIn. I don't know if you've seen any LinkedIn ones yet.
Okay, LinkedIn. Oh, LinkedIn is great. LinkedIn looks really good. See if you can throw an image up here and have some logos in there, like your tech stack. I think that would bang. I think that would be like really good. So kind of like how you have your portfolio image, right? The laptop. So let's see.
Yeah.
So kind of have this image in the background, but one thing, so I imagine like a laptop and stuff, right? And the dark overlay. But on top of that, see if you can add your tech stack logos. So your MongoDB or Firebase or React logo, JavaScript logo. I think that would look phenomenal. Because then visually, as a recruiter, I immediately know what I'm hiring for. Right now, I might actually think, wait, is this guy looking for a job in IT? Is it for programming? Like, what is it? It takes me a second.
Okay.
All right. Freelance web developer. Okay. Ready. Okay, so you have some experience as a developer. That's a good sign. Let's go here. A lot of people do this thing on LinkedIn that I see a lot, open to work. I don't know. I don't really know how effective that is. But if you guys want to do that, you can. Just something I've noticed a lot when I'm recruiting. Okay, you got some endorsements. That's good. Cool. So yeah, your LinkedIn profile looks good. There's a lot of stuff happening here, which I don't really see how it's so super relevant to what you do.
Okay.
Because you say coding is much more than a passion, but then it's like music and high school band director and jazz and DJ and MC and DJ business and wedding and I'm scanning. You see, like I'm not reading, I'm scanning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Change colors, CSS from yellow to pink. You're spending a lot of time going through really like basic stuff. I would rather use this for something else and more relevant to coding.
Okay. More meat and potatoes, and not so much.
Yeah.
Fluff.
Yeah. I would go more meat and potatoes on it. Like recruiters go crazy over this type of stuff, right? Like when I'm scanning for keywords visually, if you can write it in a non like SEO, like not in a you're hacking SEO way, but more like, I used ReactJS to design the front end for the new company, and I also integrated jQuery and Bootstrap to help with the front end, and we integrated, we were using Git version control, and we had Heroku and Vagrant to manage the environment. Like if you actually write that out really fast, and right here, that really catches my eye.
Okay.
Because as
that makes sense.
Recruiter, I'm scanning fast. So by here, visually, if you let me scan fast with like logos, boom, that helped. Let me scan here, boom. Otherwise, I come here, the first time I see this, I'm like some IT job, talking about music, no, boom, I'm out. That's how fast it is.
Okay.
Completely unfair to you. It's completely unfair to you guys. But just know the average time is 5 to 7 seconds or less. All right. Was that helpful?
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
You got it. Awesome. Thank you. Happy New Year. Boom, boom, boom. Amazing session. All right, guys. So let me ask you guys, did you guys enjoy that session?
Absolutely. Thank
you,
Kazi. Yep.
Yes. No, awesome. Thank you.
Let me ask you guys again. Did you guys enjoy that session?
Hell yeah!
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Awesome.
Kazi, I have a question for you.
Guys, we have to go now. We'll keep this going from Slack. Ask me any more questions you have, Nikanji.
It's not about what we are talking about. It's about it's in my project. I have this thing that I have many cards that do different. That the cards will be displayed in different pages. So I try to have like a component. It's not ReactJS, but it's Java and HTML. So I just did const and I put the codes for the card to show the card in one function, and it's just returned in that function.
Nikanji, it seems like this is a really technical question. I would ask it in Slack, brother. Okay?
All right.
Ask it in Slack. Somebody's going to help you, guaranteed, in the Profit with JavaScript community. Okay, I really hope you guys enjoyed this session. This was a ton of fun for me. I hope that it was a ton of fun for you guys. Would you guys want to do this again?
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. With that said, guys, thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate all of you guys. I love you guys, and let's talk next week. Peace out.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye, guys. Take care. Woo! All right. So, what's up, YouTube gang? Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something from it. And drop in the comments below. What did you like? What did you hate? Smash the like button if you liked it. Subscribe to the goddamn channel if you haven't already, because this is the best ReactJS channel in the fucking world. I love your beautiful face. This is Kazi, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Gang, gang. Woo! Let's go! We crushed it, guys. Let's go. Let's get it.
Appreciate your sound. Appreciate your sound.
Just vibe it out here with me.
Appreciate your sound.
That was an amazing session.
Appreciate your sound.
It was an amazing session.
Appreciate your sound.
We'll do more of these guys, hopefully. And anyways, I love your beautiful face, and I'll see you in the next video. That's it for now. Peace.